What can I tell you about Ludwig? How do I talk about a man who obsessed my life for 4.5 years, who demanded that I leave everything aside in order to tell his tale? It all began when I was 25. You see, I had a dream, and it was one of those dreams that you never really get over. I dreamed that I was in a garden, and it was very beautiful, a bit like one of those colorful gardens that you see in the amazing Persian miniature paintings. Beethoven's music was playing. It was nothing of his that I'd ever heard before, but I knew it was Beethoven. The garden was filled with trees and flowers in crystalline colors, and the sky was huge, and in the middle of the garden was a great pond. Now, as the music reached its crescendo, the garden became transfigured with light, so that all the colors were burnt out, and the hand of God, as in Michelangelo's God, who reaches out to Adam on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, that hand descended and touched the water in the middle of the pond, and this sent circle after circle outwards. It was so intense that I had to close my eyes against the light and put my hands over my ears. Moments later, when the crescendo had passed and the music was coming down again, I took my hands away and opened my eyes. The colors had begun to return to the trees. Meanwhile, echoing over and over, I heard these words: "It's all right. The next time such beauty comes, you will be able to bear it." Okay, that's how Ludwig started. The dream was one of those dreams that, although you don't understand it, you know that some kind of blessing's been given, that somehow your life is changed. It's different than it was the day before. Then, many years later, while I was writing other books, I found myself staying up in the middle of the night each night to listen to Beethoven's music on earphones, and this was night after night. I realized that something strange was happening to me, for I could not stop doing this. And as I listened, I asked the question, where was Ludwig when he wrote this or that particular piece of music? What was he feeling? What was he doing? Sooner or later, I realized that I had to write a novel about Ludwig. So overwhelming was this imperative that it forced me to lay aside everything else in my life for 4.5 years. When I began the novel, I had no idea where it would take me. I didn't know that the whole experience would be for me like that of a caterpillar who weaves a cocoon around himself and is dissolved into a white jelly before being formed into that butterfly. In many ways, that's exactly what happened with Ludwig. I withdrew from the world. I gave up everything that I was doing. I began to write, and I began to listen. Oh, it was quite an experience. And out of it has come this novel, Ludwig, a spiritual thriller.